There it was. My bad. Alright. It can be heard. I'm gonna turn down my music on my headset a little. Let's get into this. Ooh, no, continue. Yes. There we are. Alright. Sorry, had to tell Discord. Alright. I don't think we did anything before we finished the last episode, so let's just investigate right quick. Another hammer. Now it's Justice Hammer 4, and it's even bigger than before. Is that suspicious individual responses for killing Taka too? Toko! Don't tell me Toko too. Relax. She just passed out when she saw the blood. The blood? Oh, that's right. When Toko is, Toko, she has a fear of blood, huh? I've tried everything to get her to wake up, but no luck. Just leave her be for now. It's like he said, we should just leave her be for now.
However...
But, why is it Justice Hammer 4? Huh? What do you mean? Celeste was attacked with Justice Hammer 1, then Hifumi was hit with Justice Hammer 2. But this time, it was Justice Hammer 4. What happened to number 3? Ah.
What?
What's the matter? Well, when you mentioned Justice Hammer 3, you just reminded me.
What?
Out with it. Do you know something? Actually, Taka's not the only one that's been killed. Hifumi's dead too.
What?
What?
Hey!
Hifumi's been killed? Yeah.
I see.
Which is why you came to get us. Then we'd better go check it out.
Damn.
Of course. Come on. So Sakura, Byakuya, and I rushed out of the physics lab. But as soon as we were out of the physics lab...
Oh!
Ah! Celeste, aren't you supposed to be waiting in the nurse's office? Something has come up. Yeah, I heard. Fumi is dead, right?
Indeed.
Well, that is not all. It is... gone? Huh? What's gone? It has disappeared. Disappeared? Hifumi's body has disappeared! What?
What did you say?
What are you talking about? It's disappeared. Don't be ridiculous.
Come on.
Are you serious?
What?
What the heck is happening here?
Hey!
Everyone back to the nurse's office. Here's why the case is so crazy. I practically leapt down the stairs, nearly losing my balance. I reached the nurse's office completely out of breath. Okay then. I couldn't believe my eyes. Sorry, hit the mic. Hifumi's body was there just a few minutes earlier. It just disappeared. Why do you keep saying it? He's a dude, say he. Me and Celeste went to the bathroom. But we were only gone for like a minute. And then when we got back...
Indeed.
This must be the work of the culprit. Shit. This must be the work of the culprit. They must have come and carried the body away. They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die, just like those guys died.
What did you say?
I don't believe this. I don't believe a body would just disappear.
Why?
First, there are 2 murders, and now one of the bodies has been taken. This is unnatural.
Huh?
Hold on. What do you mean 2 murders?
Hina.
Taka's been killed. We found him in the equipment room.
No way!
It can't be. Taka too? It can't be. It can't be.
No!
There you Toko.
Hina.
Calm down. We're all gonna die. All of us. They're gonna kill all of us. Then who might be the next target be, Toko? Huh?
What?
I completely forget. She's still unconscious in the equipment room.
Well,
You left her at the scene of the crime? We didn't have a choice. We have a choice. She passed out and she refused to wake up.
huh?
So she is still unconscious?
Damn.
Wait. So you knew she was still up there and said nothing? Why? That little annoying insect that clings to me wherever I go. We'd be better off without her.
Bastard!
You bastard! Calm down. You forgot about her, didn't you? You have no right to blame me. Everyone stop fighting! Right now we need to hurry back.
Huh?
I can't take this anymore. I don't want anyone else to die.
Damn.
Byakuya, if something's happened to Toko, I'll never forgive you. Don't worry. We shot out of the nurse's office and bolted up the stairs, headed back to the 3rd floor. We ran back to the equipment room at full speed. And when we got there, she was fine. Toko! Thank God you're okay. But right away I noticed there was something very different here. Yes, Taka's body is missing too. Ah, it was gone. Taka's body, which should have been right here, has disappeared.
This
can't be happening.
Ugh.
Are we oh crap. Are we hallucinating all this or something? No, it's not a hallucination. I know I saw it before, and what I'm seeing now isn't what I saw before.
Huh?
What are you saying? Taka disappeared too?
Stop talking.
Stop saying disappeared. It didn't vanish into thin air. Obviously whoever did this has hidden the body. But why would they do that? I couldn't possibly begin to imagine. Anyway, our costumes are costumed. Is it costumed or costumed? Oh, that's right. It is costumed because there was some guy in a suit like attacked her. Anyway, our costume suspect is clearly continuing his crime spree.
Huh?
We gotta hurry up and catch him before he kills all of us.
Not possible.
I don't think you have to worry about that.
Huh?
Think about it. Who could possibly be responsible for killing and hiding these dead bodies?
Well,
When Hifumi's death cry went up, everyone here was together on the 3rd floor. Real quick, there's not gonna be another death because there can only be 2 deaths maximum. They talked about that.
it is so.
After that, we split up into 2 groups. And now this time, you all came here as a group from the nurse's office. In other words, the only ones who could have done this are Hiro and Kyoko, who are still missing. Hold on a second. Kyoko has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. There's no question that she was in the dining hall with us. You seem very adamant about defending her. Perhaps you are in love. That's not it at all.
That's fine.
Well, anyway, yes, I do accept Kyoko's alibi.
Let's see.
Which means the suspicious individual we're looking for can be none other than Hiro. Which further means there will be no more murders. The regulations are very clear about that. Hell yeah! Makoto's in denial. Yup. Oh, that's right. There's a rule that says you can only kill a maximum of 2 people. Hooray! I was recalling correctly.
That's right.
As long as that rule is in place, there will not be a 3rd murder. If they were to break that rule...
Shing!
I mince ya! Mince ya without a second thought. Mince ya, grind ya, turn you into paste! By the way, did you know that fish paste can also refer to shellfish, like shrimp or crab? Indeed.
Let's see.
So, since 2 people have been killed, there is no possibility of any more.
Perhaps.
You knew that from the beginning, didn't you, Byakuya? Which means you knew Toko was never in danger. I still meant it when I said we'd be better off without her, though.
In other words,
Anyway, with that in mind, we can now relax and search for the 2 missing bodies. The 2 missing bodies. 2 people have been killed and their bodies have been hidden. The only one without an alibi, the only one who could have done it, is Hiro. I don't believe it! Hiro's too much of a fucking... He's too much of a sissy, really. I mean, could you really say that Hiro could kill someone? But, is he really the killer? And what about Kyoko? If she's not involved in this case, where did she go?
what?
Hey, Kodo, what's the matter? Huh? Oh, it's nothing. Whatever. We need to find those bodies. Or our little narrative here can't move forward. Oh, 1 sec.
So then...
Very well. Then let us split up and begin searching.
But...
There is no need to be afraid. No more murders will take place during this case.
'Cause, I mean...
I know that. I mean, I think I do. But
Hina.
if you're still nervous, I'll come with you.
Huh?
Oh, okay. Thank you. No need to thank me. Then let's get moving. Yell out if you find anything. Bruce do. Nuh-uh! No way. Hold on, I gotta check this. I'm not gonna watch it. I need to see the proof. Stolen Pokemon card. Oh shit. Hell yeah, Bruce, I'll be watching you later. Byakuya left the equipment room, followed by the others. I have to try and find the 2 missing bodies. Oh, there it is. Look, go in here and look for clues. The investigation hasn't even begun yet. Oh, great! Excuse me. Excuse me. Taka's entire body has disappeared, leaving behind nothing but a bloodstain. Fine. I was hoping there'd be clues. That's why I said this case is particularly crazy. With 2 bodies, it takes a while for the investigation to actually start. You'll know when it starts because of the kick-ass music. Of course, I think I have to go to the game room. No. Makoto!
Come on.
Why are you just standing there? We need to get to the repository. Huh? You mean...
Indeed.
I found them. Ifumi and Taka's bodies had both been hidden in the repository.
Goodbye.
I've already told Hina and Sakura. Well, go on ahead. Their bodies were in the repository? What the hell is the repository? Is that the art room? I think it's the back room in the art room. Okay, that's what I thought. Are the bodies here somewhere? Up ahead is the repository. The doorknob turned. guess it's unlocked. I have no choice but to go inside. So I opened the door. When I entered, I saw... Wah, 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 wah. The two bodies that had disappeared were right here. The smell of blood made me gag. What I saw before my eyes was unquestionable, unavoidable, unwavering reality. And then I heard the announcement for a second time. Boom, there's the second announcement.
A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
And so here we are.
It's the Monokuma
Without further
file!
ado, let me give you all the next Monokuma file. I was going to hand them out when you found the bodies the first time, but I thought something might happen.
What?
It was really hard to resist, but turns out I was right.
Stop talking.
Just hand it over already.
Punishment is waiting for you.
Now, make sure to investigate with all of your mental might and prepare for the class trial.
See ya later!
Well then, now that we've found the bodies, all that's left is to uncover the culprit.
What the heck?
Hold on. How can you be so calm? I mean, they're dead, you know.
That's terrible.
Dead. Gone forever. They're never coming back. Awful. This is all just too awful. Hina suddenly burst into tears. She clutched at Hifumi's lifeless body.
Who would do this? Why? Why?
Large wet tears fell from her eyes. The tears landed on Hifumi's cheeks. If this was some world of make-believe, that might have been when Hifumi opened his eyes. But this wasn't a movie. Gasp! This wasn't...
He's alive again?
What?
Where am I? Cold. So cold. Is winter coming?
Hifumi! Wake up!
Huh? That's right. I remember now. Hope's Peak.
Come on, you gotta wake up!
I remember everything before I met you all. I met you all.
His memories are blending together. He has nothing useful to offer us.
The light. It's reaching out to me.
Dude, you're so dramatic. Just die already.
Like the tail of a comet.
Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you?
Who killed me? That's right. I remember. Their name. Yasuhiro.
What? Nuh-uh. 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 His eyes closed. And they never opened again. Death. For the second time. Absolute, undeniable death. And that's when he opens his eyes again. Remember that Hifumi only addresses people by their last names? Oh shit! No matter how many more of Hina's tears splashed his face, there was no second miracle. Reality set in again. This isn't some stereotypical fantasy world. Tears can't restore a person's vitality.
Honestly.
You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins, no calcium in your bones. At least you have your meat.
Stop talking.
You're just angry. Going out of his way to return just to leave us with unnecessary dying words. Wow, it might be Akia because I pretty much said the same thing. Now this game has become exceedingly boring.
Huh.
He said Yasuhiro, right?
Then perhaps...
Yasuhiro Hagakure. That is the only person he could have been referring to. I fucking knew it! Yeah! Place the blame elsewhere, Celeste! Fuck you, bitch! You fucking killed two of the best characters, you fucking
So,
bitch!
in other words...
And with that, the case is solved. Assaulting people and even killing Taka and Hifumi. And then going so far as to hide their bodies. A criminal that hides his face behind a mask and uses a bunch of giant wooden hammers. Is that what Hero is? What, a giant wooden hammer? Yes, Hero is a giant wooden hammer.
What is this?
If it's true, I can't forgive him. No way can I ever forgive him. To kill two of our friends.
That's fine.
Anyway, it's about time we track down the culprit in our little life or death game here. Although, this time it's not all that life or death. The trial will conclude without much trouble.
Indeed.
Yes, it does look that way. It's going to begin again. We have to go through this one more time. I have to accept it. I have no choice but to go through with this to make sure everyone survives. I just have to do it! First, I'd better check the Monokuma file. The victims were Hifumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Ishimaru. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. It is thought they were both killed with the similar weapon. What do you mean it is thought? That's it?
Very strange.
Yeah, it's pretty strange. We got way less information this time than before. That is no problem. After all, the events of this case unfolded before our very eyes. We should know more about what happened than the Monokuma file could anyway. Maybe.
Well,
There's something else that's bothering me. Someone else has been missing for quite a while. Are you talking about Kyoko?
perhaps.
Without a doubt. She has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. What if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice? An accomplice? No. An accomplice? What are you doing here?
Monokuma appears!
Don't be rude! I'm here to answer your question. What question?
Yep.
You're talking about accomplices, right? I'm pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I? During the first class trial.
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So, in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
In other words,
So basically, you can be an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it.
so then...
So, are you saying nobody worked together this time either?
Hey,
Sorry, can't answer that. It would obstruct the free exchange of information between you guys. I just want to make sure you don't forget, no matter how much you might assist in a murder,
Phew.
only one blackened can graduate. An accomplice gets nothing.
So, in other words,
Then we only need to figure out let me start that over. Then we only need to figure out who that one blackened is that did the killing, right? Just like normal?
Well,
Okay. Let me take this opportunity to clarify this whole shebang. In this class trial, what you need to determine is
extreme!
the one true blackened who had devised the murder plot and put it into action. The true blackened. So just one person.
Well now,
That's enough for explainifying. Now it's down to the final battle between all of you and the blackened. Good luck to all the contestants! So there can only be one blackened. An accomplice wouldn't benefit. Then I can see why Kyoko would be connected to this case after all. You may be right. If that's true, then Kyoko, where are you?
However...
I'm losing my freaking voice already. As long as she's not connected to the case, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the investigation.
Indeed.
I have absolutely no doubt that Hiro is responsible. You fucking bitch! But for the time being, I suppose it can't hurt to pursue further information.
So,
You know, don't you think we should consider a certain someone a suspect just in case? I'm talking about the murderous fiend Genocide Jack.
What?
What? I'm offended!
Ooh!
Ooh, that's a little bit too much like Monokuma. My bad. You. When did you... I've been looking all over for you, Master. When I woke up, you were nowhere to be found.
You SOB!
Anyway... Oh, sorry, I got some... Alright. Anyway, you there, milk sack swimmer girl!
Huh?
Milk sack?
You've gotta be kidding!
Why do I gotta be a suspect?
What the heck?
Well, I mean, you are a serial killer.
What?
So what? I mean, I'm like a special guest suspect. I'm like a special guest suspect every time. I have an alibi, you know. She's right about that. When we heard Hifumi scream, she was with me. And when the bodies disappeared, she was still lying unconscious in the equipment room. Plus, Taka's body aside, I can't imagine any way she would have been able to move Hifumi's body.
Yep.
Besides, I calculate every move I make. I'm not gonna kill someone when everyone knows what I look like. They don't call me the murderous fiend for nothing.
What are you saying?
That's not the kind of thing you should be bragging about.
Let's see.
On another topic, should we post a guard by the bodies like before? We can't have them disappearing again.
So then...
Hina and I can handle that. You don't mind, do you, Hina? Sure. I'd be totally useless in the investigation anyway.
It's all clear now.
Then that's that. Let's begin. Oh, no one's gonna freaking drag me along with them this time? I can actually investigate on my own? All but one of us has an alibi, so figuring out who did it should be obvious, right? But maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's gonna be as straightforward as it seems. No! There are hammers of all different sizes hanging on the wall, although some are more like mallets. Mallets? Could the Justice Hammers have been designed using these as a model? Either way, all the hammers here have obviously seen a lot of use. They're all covered in debris and chalky stone powder. Wait. For some reason, this one hammer isn't dirty at all, and it's wet. Did someone wash it recently? Spotless hammer. Hifumi's big, cold body is laying on the floor. His really big body. I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move someone so big? From the nurse's office where he was discovered to here, the repository. All the way from the first floor to the third, and all without anyone noticing it. How the hell? It's no good. I just don't get it. I can think about it later. For now, I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head. Probably from Justice Hammer 3, which was lying on the floor in the nurse's office. Huh? Wait. Something's off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. That's it! His glasses! When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But now they're completely clean. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? But who would do that, and why? Hifumi's glasses. No! I didn't mean to fucking... I need to move the camera. There, this thing. It's a dolly. It doesn't have a handle. I saw this in the art room before. I guess it's used to move statues around. It's kinda awkward, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to see. Or use. Huh? But wait. Wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? And look at the wheel. There's a blood stain on it. So there's blood on the wheel of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. What's the explanation for that? Oh, jeez. Taka, he'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, Taka died from a blow to the head. We found Justice Hammer 4 near his body in the equipment room. Is that what was used to kill him? Then there's a tarp laid out under his body. Did the killer use this to move Taka's body? That way there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved? Blue tarp.
So,
Hey, Makoto, I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository. Huh? What is it? After Hifumi and Taka's body disappeared, we split up to look around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together.
but...
And we came right to the repository too, you know? Or to, you know, look around. But when we got here, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside. It was locked. Excuse me. And we came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could have beat us here. So if that's true, then who locked it, and why is it unlocked now? I wonder the same thing. The door was locked when the search for the bodies began. Now it's wide open. There might be some secret lurking in there. But I'll probably have to find this area. I'll have to leave this area to figure it out. There are many aspects to the incident this time. Too many, to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that's happened.
So then...
Would you like my help? Sure. Yeah, let's look back on things. This morning, only 4 of us met up at the dining hall. Hina, Kyoko, you, and myself. We waited on the others, but nobody showed up. So we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search. And soon after we split up, Kyoko disappeared. After that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor, and quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and lay unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was attacked for an hour before we found her, meaning just after 7 o'clock. Based on the pictures Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in a strange costume. It was Robo-Justice. It also became clear that this Robo-Justice had dragged Hifumi away. After meeting up with Toko and Byakuya, we began searching for the costumed assailant. We found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office on the 1st floor, then resumed our search. But not long after leaving the nurse's office. What's wrong? I saw a shadow. Something moving around at the top of the stairs. Based on Celeste's claims, we went back to the 2nd floor where we split up and began searching. Then right after that, Celeste screamed. This time, she had apparently seen the suspect on the 3rd floor. Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way back to the 3rd floor. Celeste, What's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, a strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he disappeared further down into the hallway and disappeared. I think I said disappeared more than I should have. And then... Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been... Hifumi! He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back. At that point, we decided to split up into two groups. Celestina and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, Yubiaki and Toko pursued the suspect on the 3rd floor. And when we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi's, not really corpse, but yep, corpse. Which is also when we heard the body discovery announcement play. I left Celeste and Hina alone and headed back to the 3rd floor to tell the others what had happened.
However...
But at the same time, we had discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. Which means Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered right around the same time. God, her voice kills! Because I remember hearing the body discovery announcement play right after finding Taka. And that's when I showed up and told Byakuya that Hifumi had been killed, right? Then you, me, and Byakuya all headed back to the nurse's office. Leaving Toko, who had fainted. As soon as we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who had just arrived to tell us something very unusual. Hifumi's body has disappeared. Okay, I do want to like read this back, because yeah, this is interesting. Because I'm like, now that I know some things, I'm piecing things together. We hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was in fact gone. Then we remembered we had abandoned the unconscious Toko and rushed to the equipment room. This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something? This time, Taka's body had been disappeared. So from there, we began our search for both of the missing bodies. After some time, Celeste told us she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository. And there we rediscovered the two bodies that had apparently vanished. And that brings us up to now.
However...
Looking back, things have certainly been very active. If you want to look back at the case again, just let me know. I'm fine anytime. Byakuya, do you think Hiro really did it? I don't see how anyone could think otherwise. When the attacks and murders and disappearances all happened, every one of us had an alibi. And the last thing Hifumi said when he died... Yeah, he said Hiro's name.
So in other words...
Then there is no room to suspect anyone else. Okay, but if he did do it, why would he hide his identity with that weird costume? Maybe he thought that no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face was covered. Because he's the fool of the century, you see. I mean, he is kinda dumb. Thanks. But do you really think that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's a clue hiding in there somewhere.
What?
And is that it? That's all that bothers you about this case? Well, no. There are a few other things. Like, why did the killer try to hide the bodies? They probably figured that if we couldn't find the bodies, we couldn't complete our investigation. But if that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we? Or didn't we? Again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit was a moron. Is that really all there is to it? The other thing that bothers me is, why did they bother killing two people?
What?
What? Because all the rule says is if you can kill someone and get away with it, you graduate, right? So if you're the killer, your number one priority is not getting caught. But killing 2 people means more clues, more chances you'll get found out.
I see.
Hold on. Perhaps C. So that's what it means. Is everything okay?
That's enough.
Don't talk to me as if we're friends. Huh? What's with the attitude? But you have my appreciation.
Goodbye.
Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this after all. His mysterious words hung up in the air as he left the repository. He talked as if he'd figured something out. But if he did, would it have killed him to tell me what it was? Probably. Oh my gosh, okay, whatever, you read that. There's definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be locked from inside the repository. I don't see any way to lock it from the art room. Ooh. The door can only be locked from inside the repository, which makes me wonder. Hina and Sakura confirmed that the door was locked after we started looking for the missing bodies. And the door is designed so that it can only be locked from inside the repository. In other words, when Hina checked it, someone had already gone in the repository and locked the door. When they were done, they unlocked it and left, which is why it's unlocked now. But Hina claims that there's no way someone could have beaten them to the repository, so that certain someone is Celeste! There's gotta be a clue around here somewhere. Maybe I should check somewhere else. There are a few places I already know about. First, the nurse's office, where Hifumi was found, and then the equipment room, where Taka was found. Ugh. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay. Oops, sorry, my bad. Why are you here? There's some kind of tire mark going through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. That reminds me about the dolly in the repository. There was blood on its tire. Could that blood have come from here? No. Which could have mean that Taka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using the dolly. Excuse me. Both rooms are on the 3rd floor, so that should definitely have been possible. Equipment room bloodstain. But even if the dolly was used to move Taka's body, what about Hifumi? Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office on the 1st floor. Even with the dolly, there's no way to get it up to the 3rd floor, especially Hifumi. That's still a total mystery. Justice Hammer 4, the weapon that was used to kill Taka. The body was moved, but the murder weapon was just left here. I was sleeping right here when the killer carried the body away.
What?
I'm super pissed. I missed such an ultimate rare event. Okay, isn't there a way for me to fast travel? It's been a while. There we go. Excuse me. Nurse's office. No, yeah, I bet you are in the nurse's office, freak. Celeste, you guilty bitch. Justice Hammer 3, the one that was used to kill Hifumi. Someone moved the body but left the weapon behind. I have a feeling Justice Hammer 5 was used to kill Hifumi, because there was a washed one. It's just a normal trash can. Huh? Wait, there's something inside. It's too small to be a handkerchief. It's a glasses cleaning cloth, and it's got some kind of cartoon character on it. But it's also covered in blood.
Oh,
Did you find something? Yeah, there was a cleaning cloth in the trash can.
huh?
A cleaning cloth? Yeah, and it's all bloody. Whoever this belonged to must have used it to wipe up some blood. Oh, it's not like it's a cleaning cloth or anything. So it's probably Ifumi's, since there's a thing on it. But who would need to do something like that? I haven't the slightest idea. Yeah, me either. But I think it might be important. What are you investigating, Celeste? I am not investigating anything, precisely speaking. I am simply going around seeing if Hiro might be hiding somewhere. What about you? Oh, you know, I'm just checking this and that. The main thing on my mind is how someone could have moved Hafumi's body.
Let's see.
How Hifumi was moved, eh? When it disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's office, right?
Yes, indeed.
Correct. Hina was not feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. But she seemed to be getting worse, so I took her to the bathroom. And when you came and we got back, the body was gone. We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. Hina said the same thing. So then, the killer was able to get in and move Fufumi's body in that short amount of time.
Indeed.
It would seem so. To carry off someone as big as Hifumi in only a couple of minutes is... I can't think of it as anything less than impossible. Oh, jeez. How much is left? What am I supposed to do now? Am I supposed to look for, Is it not gonna tell me where to go? Maybe he's in his room. I should check out the school first. Why? What do I need to do? Nope. No, not this one. Just gonna look in every room. I think I missed one. Oh no, it's not down there. See in the bathroom. Come on, where the hell is he? Baby is sleeping, please be quiet. I'm looking everywhere for this bastard. Realities and everything. Where the hell is this dickhead? I don't think he's in the freaking locker room. Oh, so help me God, if he's in the locker room, I'm gonna fucking... Please tell me he's in here. Damn it. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Celeste. Was she really attacked with this? Justice Hammer 1? But what the heck is with this thing? Oh my god, really? It's not a clue. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't think I have access to the 4th floor yet. Where the fuck is he? Oh my god. I'm gonna have to check it. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh my god. Why didn't... The only place I haven't checked... Where the fuck is this guy? I've looked everywhere. What the fuck am I supposed to be doing? Yeah, no, I can't go to the 4th floor yet. Oh well. What? Oh. Oh! Damn it! Huh? This tarp. Feel like I've seen it somewhere before. Just recently, too. I don't know. I've been everywhere. Aha! So this is where you've been, or so this is where you were. I've been looking for you. You have? I wanted to thank you for what you did. Not that you meant to, but you ended up making this little game of ours very interesting indeed. You should go to Hero's room. Oh, and let me give you this. Meet in the dining hall. This is the note. This is the note Hero wrote to get us all to meet up, right? You remember well. Well, the penmanship was pretty remarkable, so it left an impression.
It's all clear now.
Anyway, this makes it clear, right? This is a trap. What is? Things grow ever more exciting. What are you talking about? I've already repaid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanation.
Goodbye.
So he said to go to Hiro's room, but what's waiting for me there? Finally. The door is unlocked. I guess I can go inside. Byakuya did say to go look, sorry. It might not be a great idea, but I'm gonna take the plunge. This is Hiro's room. There's all kinds of weird stuff in here. Where'd he even get it all from? More importantly, he still hasn't turned up. Which means he can't really complain if I don't get his permission to search his room, right? What? I thought I saw one over there. Fine, be that way. It's a normal bed, pretty much just like the one in my room. I think there's something in the cardboard box. It's blueprints for something. And some things made out of, looks like cardboard, plastic, and plaster? Is this Robo Justice? And it's in Hiro's room. But wait, these blueprints. Something about them bothers me. I soundlessly checked the bathroom. There's nothing in here. It's pretty grungy though. How does a bathroom even get this dirty? What haven't I checked? This thing. A surveillance camera. There's no point in worrying about it right now. I need to forget about it. Makoto! Big news, big news. What's wrong? We found Kyoko! What? Is she okay? Where is she? Wait, I wasn't done. There's more big news.
Just a second.
Robo Justice showed up too! Robo Justice? It's Hiro wearing the costume.
Okay.
Anyway, as soon as you can, head to the pool on the second floor. I was in the pool! I was there, you all saw me. She was not there. I think Hiro and Kyoko would turn up at the same time. Anyway, I have to head to the pool. I ran off to the second floor as fast as I could. Awesome. I now have to do it myself. Kyoko! And...
I mean...
Whew, man. I have had the worst day. Oh, I thought this was gonna say ever. Hiro? Excuse me. Hiro?
Huh? Oh, hey, Makoto.
Yeah, duh. Who else would I be? That's a good question.
Huh?
Huh? What? Why do I look like this? Did someone come along and remodel me while I was sleeping? Was it the Illuminati?
Right.
I found Hiro. He was jammed in the pool room locker. It looked like he was fast asleep, so I kicked him and woke him up.
Don't be mean!
I still can't believe you kicked me! You could have been a little more gentle about it. Like, I don't know, caress my face or something. Dude, you would say that, you little bitch.
What?
That is creepy. Anyway, Kyoko, where have you been all this time? You just disappeared all of a sudden, without a trace.
Well,
There was something I had to check up on. What do you mean? Never mind. She stole, alter ego. I can't, never mind.
it's nothing.
Never mind.
Hey,
More importantly, she says that, but does she have any idea? Does she know people think she might be spying for the mastermind?
and?
First of all, Hiro, you need to explain to us why you're dressed like that.
I mean,
Oh, well, I mean, I have no idea. 1 second, I was asleep. Don't even know how that happened. Then I woke up, and then I was here. I don't care. Do something about that costume. It pains me just to look at you.
huh?
Well,
Let me out of here!
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help. Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself?
You got it all wrong!
I didn't make this stupid friggin' thing.
It would seem...
There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him. It took everyone's help, but slowly we were able to get Hiro out of the suit. It took a few minutes, but eventually we got all of the pieces off. Whoa! Free at last! Isn't it kind of weird how perfectly the suit fits Hiro?
So then,
More to the point, nobody but Hiro would be able to wear that costume. Wait. Hold on a sec.
honestly,
Don't bother trying to act innocent. The blueprints were in your room as well.
is that okay?
In other words, it is obvious to everyone that you made this costume. That's true. I saw the blueprints myself. Yeah, me too.
Could it be...
Then it's obvious. The one who put this costume on and went around attacking everyone
That's terrible!
was Hiro. Shall we tie him up and gag him?
Just the worst.
Good idea. We wouldn't want him killing anyone else.
What?
Tie me up! Hold on, guys. I think that's going a little far.
That's right.
He may be a suspect, but he deserves fair treatment. Yeah! I mean, attacking blueprints. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
What the heck?
You can't talk your way out of this. It's been decided. You killed them.
Please!
What? Killed who? I have no idea what you're talking about. There must be a fake hero running around.
What are you saying?
You're the only one who can wear this costume. So who else could possibly be the costumed attacker?
What the heck?
How do you know I'm the only one? Maybe you should try it on for yourself before you convict me.
Okay.
Fine. But if you're gonna be a jerk about it, I will. Without missing a beat, or without missing a bit, Hina started putting on the Robo Justice costume.
Huh. See? Look. See how loose it is?
Why would it be loose? Wouldn't it be... Oh, wait, yeah, no. Sorry. I'm a little out of it
I
right
mean,
now.
come on. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me!
And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
Oh, shit! How the hell are they gonna push over the cart? Aha!
That's not a very nice thing to say. I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment.
Well, either way, now we know for sure, right? I mean,
No.
it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hiro could have fit into this dumb costume.
In a huff, Hina took the suit back off again.
Ah.
Well, now you're all out of excuses. No, see, it's because you're a girl. If it was another guy, then... Makoto, go ahead. Okay. Against my will, I picked up the pieces off the floor and tried putting them on. It's no good. The arms are too long. There's no way I can wear this.
Just a second.
See? I told you it was impossible. You are absolutely right. It's seems this costume was made to fit Hiro's body exactly.
But...
You seem a little proud of that, Celeste, you fucking bitch. Then there's another costume. They must have one that looks the same. But it fits them.
Honestly.
If you insist on this line of defense, then show us some evidence.
What the heck?
Evidence? You claim there's another suit, yes? Then you must find it and show it to us. What the heck?
Just the worst.
Who cares? Cares little. Hiro's the only one without an alibi during this whole thing anyway.
That's terrible.
Which is how we know it was him.
What?
I mean, is that really true? I have no idea what's happening. What's been happening? Could someone, like, tell me?
What the heck?
If you don't tell me what's going on, how am I supposed to understand? I think I figured out that someone's been killed, right? Hey Makoto, who was it? Well, 2 people were killed. Taka and Hifumi.
What?
What? 2 people?
Just the worst.
Why are you freaking out? You did it.
Please!
I did not.
Huh?
Wait, hold on. If those 2 are the ones that were killed...
How about that?
That's it! I know who did it!
So then,
You may as well tell us then. Taka and Hifumi were fighting over alter ego, right?
I'm at least 30%
Which
right.
means alter ego and or Chihiro must have done it. Oh my god.
correct.
I see. That's unfortunate.
Please!
Huh? Unfortunate.
What the heck?
Stop trying to trick us. Just admit that you did it, okay? I'm telling you, you got it all wrong.
Oh, so then.
I know that note. Note? Last night, someone slipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole. Maybe we can use... I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out. So don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. But the last thing I remember is going to the rec room. Then for some reason, I fell asleep.
Hey.
The real killer probably drugged me or something.
Just the worst.
Not a chance.
So,
No, hold on. He could be onto something. The nurse's office didn't have chemicals that could do that.
Huh?
Really? I told you, someone's trying to set me up. Secret passage, chance to escape. Someone wrote all that to trick me. Even if that's true, you must be one dumb fish to bite every piece of bait that floats in front of you. Well, after being trapped here so long, even if you know it's a lie, you still gotta check, right? And they pried on my desire to get out of here. They deceived me. I still don't buy it.
Don't be mean.
Well, you should buy it.
Just a second.
Okay, then show us that note. With pleasure. I have it right here in my, pocket.
No way.
Looks like I lost it. Yeah, sure.
Please.
You gotta believe me. I wouldn't hurt a fly. As I said before, if you want us to believe you, you must produce evidence. Can you show us the note? I have no particular issue with what you claim, but if you want us to believe you, give us a reason. What the heck? For serious? Don't worry, Hero, I believe you. Now then, shall we resume our investigation? There's no time to waste before the class trial begins. Why do we need to keep investigating? We already know who did it.
What the heck?
Why? Why did you kill them? Tell us, Hero. No, it's like I said.
Just the worst.
Was it really to get the money Monokuma offered us? Yeah, that must be it. He must be totally broke, and that's why.
Please.
Wait, that's a false accusation. Someone help me.
What are you saying?
Just be thankful we haven't bound and gagged you. If you have time to yell and carry on, You have time to search for your evidence, right?
What?
No, you're right. I need to look for the second suit in that note. V, don't fail me now. I guess I'd better get back to guard duty. I was gonna ask Toko or Genocide Jack to switch with me. One sec. But if she and Sakura got into a fight, we'd have a catastrophe on our hands. Well, bye. One by one, everyone peeled away.
Makoto.
Do you have a second? I want you to help me with the investigation.
It would seem...
Oh, there it is. It looks like I got a late start on this one, so I need to make up some ground. Sure, I don't mind helping, but can you promise me something? Later, when we have time, will you tell me why you disappeared?
Why is that?
No. To reject me so simply.
Anyway...
Anyway, I need your help. You don't mind, do you? Okay.
Shall we go?
Thanks. Now then, shall we?
Hey.
So, Makoto, first I'd like to examine the corpses. Examine the corpses. I can't believe I'm hearing that from a girl the same age as me.
Correct.
Dead bodies don't lie, you know. They tell the truth far more easily than the living.
Hey.
Wouldn't you agree? How am I supposed to answer?
Anyway...
We have to hurry before the class trial begins again. Yeah, you're right. Okay then, show me where the bodies are. They're in the repository. Then I guess we should head that way for now. Oh boy. Ifumi and Taka. For a moment, Kyoko seemed to go rigid. But only for a moment.
So then...
Well then, let's get started. She crouched down next to Taka and without hesitation began poking and prodding the bodies.
I knew it.
Monokuma File was right. They were killed using similar weapons. Her movements were so smooth. She was so calm. Seeing how comfortable she was actually made me feel a little more comfortable.
I see.
Makoto, I found something. You did?
Hey.
You remember the wristwatch Taka always wore on his left hand? He did?
Whew.
Are you so oblivious to the people around you? Do you dislike other people that much? No, that's not it. Anyway, so you said he had a watch.
So then...
Take a look. It's broken. You can see the hands aren't moving, right? It's most likely broke when he had his encounter with his assailant. And if you notice, the hands are frozen at just past 6 o'clock. So that would mean the watch was broken sometime just after 6?
That's right.
But last night, Taka's watch definitely wasn't broken. Hey you! How long were you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
In other words...
So if it worked at 10 last night, it couldn't have been broken at 6 p.m. Meaning it must have happened at 6 this morning. Oh, sorry, I thought that was still Kyoko.
However...
And that's not all. Look at Taka's left hand. It appears to be gripping something. You're right. There's something white in there.
Makoto.
Excuse me. Can you try and pry it out? Me?
Because...
Rigor mortis has definitely set in. Boys are better suited to this kind of manual labor, right? Oh, okay. As much as I didn't want to, I grasped Taka's cold hand. The ice-cold hand was near enough to cause my heart to stop beating. It was nearly enough. After some effort, I was finally able to free the object from his tightly clenched fist. A piece of paper.
Hey.
Was that all that he had in his hand? Yeah, that's it. Just a little scrap of paper. Doesn't seem like much of a clue, does it?
Is that right?
I wonder about that. Kyoko then turned to Hifumi's body.
So then...
Let's check Hifumi's body now. Perhaps he's left us a few clues of his own. Oh shit, no.
So then...
So, did you find anything?
Indeed.
I did. More than I expected, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of paper.
That's right.
Hifumi had it hidden on him. Hidden?
Indeed.
He stuffed it into his pants, so I can only assume he'd hidden it on purpose, you see? In his pants? Wait, so you...
Why is that?
It was just his pants, not like his socks or something. I don't know what that means.
Hey.
Anyway, let's take a look at the paper. Go ahead, Makoto. Open it up. Why do you need us to do it? When I think of how it was stuffed down his pants, it's like... It better be important, Hifumi, or I'll never forgive you for this. Oh my god, it's a note. I found a hole, we can use escape, Monokugu. Yeah, it's the fucking note that he was talking about. That sounds very familiar. That's it! It's the same thing Hiro said. And he was telling us the truth.
However...
Although, it's not exactly the same, is it? Last night, someone slipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole. Maybe we can use to escape. The time is different. Oh, shit. Oh, 6 a.m. Hiro told us that his note said to meet at 1 a.m. But the note they wrote to Hifumi asked him to meet at 6 a.m.
Is that right?
Wait a sec. Hold on. Just because Hifumi had the note doesn't mean it was meant for him. Huh?
So...
Part of it has been torn off, right? I think there's likely some meaning there. There's some meaning to a part of it being ripped? Could you maybe explain it a little more? Think carefully.
Hey.
Why would he have been clutching that scrap of paper so tightly? I have no idea.
So then...
What if it wasn't just a scrap of paper when he was holding it? What if it was something more important? And how would something more important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's just what you need to answer. Yes, it's safe to assume that the scrap of paper in his hand was ripped off the note in Hifumi's pants.
Hey.
And while we're at it, I should tell you one other thing. The two victims this time definitely had their e-handbooks on them. So the handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. Not that there was any reason to think they were connected to the killings in the first place. So you're saying I don't have to think about the handbooks this time, right?
Is that right?
If you didn't have to think about them at all, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. All I said was that they weren't used to help carry out the murders. They may come a point, however, where a handbook may play a role. A handbook may play a role? I don't think I understand. But if Kyoko thinks it's important, I'd better keep it in mind. Oh, thank God.
Are you excited? Are you pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin!
Hooray!
Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, with no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot. Make your way to the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
It would seem...
It's unfortunate, but I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You'll have to figure out the rest for yourself and come to the proper conclusion. Yeah, right.
Shall we go?
Well, we'd better get going. Okay. Hooray, voice acting. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. And as soon as we were all there...
Monokuma appears!
Why are there two of you shitheads? Hello, hello, hello. He's multiplied.
Wrong.
No, not a multiplication. It just looks that way because it's an illusion. I'm moving so fast, it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma?
Whew.
Can we just get on the elevator already?
Boy, tough crowd.
You're not playing along.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Hey, hey!
Then if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train. An elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay then. Shall we?
Please!
Hold on. I'm not mentally prepared yet.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for your sins.
What the heck?
I told you already. I didn't do it. For serious. That reminds me. Did you ever find the other costume or the note? Well, no, but... How unfortunate. Then it would seem we have our culprit. I'm losing her accent, I apologize.
Hey.
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right. Let's get down there first. Then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive, and for the two that lost their lives. Sorry. The one who killed Hifumi and Taka. The one who killed two of our friends. The killer is... someone right here. It's this one. You did it.
Damn.
Damn. I don't like Monokuma's carefree attitude.
Just the worst.
Let's hurry up and go so we can make Hiro pay for his crimes. Were you listening? Wait till we get to the courtroom to begin your arguing. Well, it's nice to know what everyone has to say. It would appear the culprit has been confirmed. This trial will be over in no time.
Hey.
The story begins when we get down there. It wasn't me. You gotta believe me.
Yes.
Come on, Big Mac, let's do it! No, I didn't mean to talk to your stupid ass again. I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk towards the elevator. Once everyone was aboard, the doors closed on their own, and the steel box began to move. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator doors slid open, opening up onto a cruel fate. When I see all of you gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Only because of you. Why? Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other?
What?
What? Do you really hate me so much? But I'm so cute!
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me. Of course I'm gonna start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break.
Yahoo!
I never get a hold on. I never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate, a deadly class trial. Oh my god, finally. Jeebs. You know, I'm actually gonna set something. Sure. I don't... Ooh, that'll help. That'll help. That'll help. It's the first time I'm ever actually using any skills.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
Was that?
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit.
Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
No, he didn't.
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
You really are accusing him, aren't you?
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know!
Is Hiro really the killer, or... Before anything else, we have to make that clear.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
Huh.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a
Oh,
second!
shit, no.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I
It's
don't
not
know.
true, it's
Hero, why?
No! Just hold on a second!
Everything we found in your room, the blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
Shoot!
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't understand.
It's not true, it's...
Hero, why?
No! Just hold on a second!
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
It's not true, it's...
Hero, why?
No! Just hold on a second!
Everything we found in your room.
I don't know.
Shoot!
Oh wait, am I supposed to agree?
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
Son of a bitch.
It's not true, it's...
Hero, why?
No! Just hold on a second!
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
I don't know.
Shoot!
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are.
It only shows only for the first two, so all this is
hold on a
useless. I don't
second.
understand.
Everything we found in your room.
Shoot!
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts that you are.
It's not true, it's...
Hero, why?
No! Just hold on a second!
Everything we found in your room.
Shoot!
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they...
There it is.
No, that's wrong!
That one got me a little. I didn't get... That one was a little... Yeah.
Are we sure Hero really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
I think I read it weird.
Well, take a look at this.
I didn't think it said Yoshihiro at first.
It's the note that Hero wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
Yeah.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So, Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hero's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hero's innocent as well.
Hooray.
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hero said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course, he passes it off
So?
to me. The Illuminati! No, it's still Hero.
I got it! Other than Hero, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hero is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hero didn't do it.
Or, you know, the costume was just a ruse, like, hey, maybe they didn't attack the costume, maybe it had nothing to do with it.
It makes perfect sense. Hero was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So
Boom,
what
jam.
you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption.
Is it?
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around!
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
I got it!
There's still one more thing. It was the tarp.
I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
Oh gee, I wonder why I suspect you, you fucking bitch.
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Hey, she's got a point, Makoto. Wow, I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. Maybe I can change her mind. If I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository, a new element has been added. Oh god. Let's talk about reloading. Starting with this next bullet time battle, we're gonna add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements. But from now on, just locking on and pressing the triangle button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Oh, fuck. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing square. Just like locking on, you'll have to press square in time with the tempo. Basically, just remember that with the square button now has a function along with the X and square buttons. You will automatically reload at the start of fever time, and your ammo will not decrease. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, you won't have to reload at all. In which case, you can ignore everything I just said, but I'm on hard. Well then, good luck and have fun.
You have it wrong! I cannot agree! You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch.
Jeez, what a bitch.
I cannot agree. You are a fool. Do your worst. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
I don't remember what that said.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room, and as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jeez, did Celeste really hate me that much? Or does Celeste
Well,
really hate me that
anyway,
much?
that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then... what kind of robot is it?
Oh my god.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer.
I'm not sure that really matters.
If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If I look on how the body was moved, it'll be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. Why? What does he mean by that? Well, the fact that remember Hiro said that he couldn't bend over, and the dolly is short and has no handle.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
There it was.
No, that's wrong. You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
Because you can't take it off by yourself.
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make this stupid friggin' thing! There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from taking it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hiro wasn't just making it up?
Sorry.
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right!
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body It couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo-Justice?
How do we know he's being
If
dragged
whoever
away?
was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robot Justice. That's what I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
But you... I hate you.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
You, Celeste, shut up. You know how impressionable she is.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it before we rush to a verdict. Shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
For real.
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
What's wrong? I saw a shadow. Something moving around at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
How do we know you're not lying? Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. Oh wow, yeah, it's not like you're trying to get them away from you or anything.
and then...
What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been... Hifumi, he's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
At that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the three of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Oh god, Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation, and from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them, no matter what.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the
Justice hammers!
Damn it!
Shoot!
No! Oh shit. No. No.
I refuse to give up yet!
Yay.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before,
or perhaps it was. We already know Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering of the Justice.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before,
or perhaps it was. We already know
what order they were killed in.
Damn it, it's the next one.
Shoot!
So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the
numbering of the Justice hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was
killed with while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came. So, I wonder if he, or perhaps it was. We already know what Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the
numbering of the Justice hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with just while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
That.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's death,
I wonder if he, or perhaps it was. We already know
what order they were killed in. Shoot!
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi.
Or perhaps it was. We already know Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering
of the Justice hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with
Justice Hammer while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came. So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because
of the numbering of the Justice hammers.
It's true that while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came.
So,
Regarding, I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was. We already
know what order they were killed.
There it is.
No, that's wrong. Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
Isn't it the watch? Or not? Or, yeah, wristwatch. R-I. Where's the I?
Now I understand. I've got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night...
Oh my god, I'm not reading this again. Yeah.
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Yes. Nurse's office, bad, we have to go back.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For some reason, I thought it was.
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said...
Yeah, more in a minute.
His body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another... ghost!
Or a zombie.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was... alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
Celeste's account.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Damn it. I was hoping that'd work.
Shoot!
Are you saying that when we first... there's a chance you...
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body Hifumi's dead.
And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found there's a chance
he was actually still alive?
No! Fuck!
Hifumi was dead, and you know
Wrong
that. Surely
button.
you heard the body Hifumi's dead, and that is...
Are we really so... Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi, there's a chance
he was actually
still alive?
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body discovered. Hifumi's
dead body had been found.
There we go.
No, that's wrong! Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time. Which means, even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice. I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
Ding body has been discovered. Yeah.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Then in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body.
Celeste, you're making it so
Then
obvious.
it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
Yeah, it was the handkerchief. Yep, glasses. Yeah, that works.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body other than the
Change in how it was positioned.
What?
Shoot!
Well, here's one. The first time we found him, and then his body
And the next time, it was in...
But when you compare his body before being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable
Difference.
Oh, wow, like that's much of a difference.
No, that's wrong! In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
It was... this thing. Oh, shit.
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... what exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
Oh my god,
But
Slash,
who would
shut the
benefit
fuck
from
up.
a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, What was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere! But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
I got it!
Oh,
it could
shit.
only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That's right, because Hifumi was pretty much her slave.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means, when Hina and Sakura got to the repository...
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. And take a look at what the note says.
In his pants! In the safety dance! I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro, and that person could only have been...
Hifumi's pants!
I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jax is seriously scary, but still, I can't let her get to me. Please don't be another freaking bullet time battle or whatever. Glasses cleaning crawls or blue tarp. Hifumi's glasses. Spotless hammer. That sounds promising.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Damn it! Shit, I probably should have read that.
The note! Then the person it was must have been Huffy!
But remember what time did it... 6 a.m.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Okay, fine. Stab your seriously adorably serious face off.
Shoot!
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m. The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Nothing to do.
Huffy had the note, right?
Oh, broken wristwatch.
Then the person it was in must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note. What time did it?
6 a.m. The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
No, that's wrong. No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
It's the fucking...
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper.
This one is so
If I'm
obvious.
right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup. They're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means
Correct.
Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa, yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive!
Hero!
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
Yeah, but he woke up for a
So
second.
then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it.
The
But
washed
wouldn't
one.
that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right,
Hell yeah.
though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other
She is
rooms
in a-
too.
no, she is a number
And
2.
I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then...
I know! There was a wash
Is it
hammer!
not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
I know what it is! It's the washed one. Spotless hammer, thank you.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info.
What?
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammer.
Nope.
No, that's wrong. The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris, but for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
Yep, that's the first thing I noticed.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's how we thought at first, but... Yeah, I don't think so. I think I'm gonna have to memorize this one.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit, only the one who actually carried out the act can assuming the rule holds true. It is simply impossible that two people were...
That is how the rule...
But that only really applies.
In this case, however, there were 2 murders.
Impossible and 2 murders.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive.
Assuming the rule holds true.
That is.
But that only really in this
Case, however, there were 2 murders.
Based on the rules, even if more than one, only the one who actually, assuming
The rule holds true. No, that's wrong. Since there were 2 murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been 1 murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only 1 person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward. benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime, and based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act. Murdering Taka, they made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
I don't know. What do you think, Celeste?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
The effort made to convince us the two murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing. Although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions, and in the end, murdered him. And in the debates up till now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. Finally. You bitch!
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot!
Where's your accent?
Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Was it that only Hifumi and Celeste had in common?
Shoot!
Damn it.
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
Yep.
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I didn't think that Hifumi killed Taka, but I knew Celeste was the one who pretty much did most of the killing, or did most of the issues. Yeah.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said? Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
It was to get us to divide into two groups, so that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up. Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the 3rd floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead.
Oh, crap.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act!
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
It means how did she know he was dead?
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious what was so
strange about Celeste's comment.
Oh, that's right. It has to be contradicting.
All I said, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are all going to die here. We are going to die.
Just like those. And
that is all I said.
That's not what I meant to do.
And that's all it takes.
What was so
strange about Celeste's comment?
All I said, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are all going to die here.
We are going to die. Just like.
There we go.
No, that's wrong. That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall, so there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations?
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Shoot!
Okay, I was just hoping that'd be just funny.
Shoot!
Damn it! It doesn't really look like. It doesn't look like Hifumi's doing the dragging. That's why.
It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
What a bitch! She can prove there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. But is that really possible? Don't be okay, that's fine. Just don't be another bullet time battle. Blueprints maybe? Maybe the e-handbook or religious costume.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Shoot!
You dressed me up in that, then you just draped me. You tried to make me look.
Like I said, as you can see in the picture, if the person
there's no way they could stand up straight.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit.
No way! You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, as you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the
No way! You dressed me up in that, then you just draped me. You tried to make me look...
Like I said, as you can see in the picture, if the person inside there's no way they could stand...
There we go, that's what I
No,
thought.
that's wrong.
I just had the wrong type of the Robo-Justice. It needed to be the costume instead of the...
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that, because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
Yes, it won't bend and you can't see the fucking feet. Yes.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate? Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
And there she is. Real Celeste.
Celeste?
No.
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Yeah.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Wait! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko,
I bet you
what
will.
do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to
handbook.
talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. And that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I?
Yes.
What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Fine! Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celeste won't give up, so then I have to do something to make her accept it. The e-handbook! Come on.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you my name? Celestia Ludenberg, god damn it!
Why is it upside down?
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since
You have no way to
contradict me,
You bitch!
only truth there is! Moron!
Ah,
He wanted us to know the killer. If there's
things.
one person...
It would have to be you, Celeste. How many times? Celestia Ludenberg!
How long do you plan?
I'm not pretending. And since
You have no
I did it
way
again.
to contradict me.
that's the only truth there is! Moron!
He wanted us to know the killer. If there's one person here...
It would have to be you, Celeste. How many times? Celestia Ludenberg!
How long do you plan?
I'm not pretending. And since you have no way to contradict me...
Boom.
No, that's wrong.
These fucking pink things are such a fucking pain in my ass.
That's it. The handbook.
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before. So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
You get to make a comic book after this! Alright. Oh, Jesus! In this case, how they could recruit their accomplice. Was it seduction? Isn't there a way to look at these? We'll come back to it. No wait, that's the 6 o'clock one. There we go. Come back to it. Number 3, I think. Okay, time to go back. chips, maybe?
The killer is you! Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was...
Oh, crap. What does this say? Oh, who it was. Oh, okay, so that... Okay. Okay. So... This one. Alright, so... Maybe? I don't know.
The killer is you! Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was... Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder.
Crap, I used the wrong hammer. Crap. Oh, I have to put them all back where they belong.
I refuse to give up yet!
Alright. Try this again. Well, it doesn't help that they still have ones from old fucking... old, cases. Like, why are those still here? Alright. That's 6. There we go. 1. Oh, no wait, it was on the other end. Bam. Still might be the bag. I don't know that one. That one's a little weird. Oh, wait, what? Oh. I was gonna be wrong with that one, too. So, okay. I think it was... No, because I just checked that one. Or did I check... Oh, I don't remember which one I used.
Here's exactly what happened. They drug... And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1, and the Robo Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2, and an injured Hifumi, to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds. That the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap, and started looking for the suspect based on that. But...
Fine. What's this one? What's this one? Oh! Duh.
The killer is... you! So, for these attacks, the killers pretended to be the first fake in there. The killers wanted us to see they want the second. This time, with these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds. That the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attack. We fell right into their trap.
No, it is going over again. Never mind.
While we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene, in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office, and once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Celeste. I fucking knew it.
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taeko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taeko?
Taeko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
Yeah, bullshit. You should have just admitted that a while ago. Okay, holy crap. Yay. Yay. That's a lot.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no, I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Oh, I wonder. Oh, I want to know what her freaking execution is gonna be. Uh-oh. Here we go. This is gonna be bad. Oh wait, no, they have to, like, you know, talk for a bit. That's right.
What?
It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The Blacken this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was...
Ta-da!
Celestia Ludenberg! Or more precisely, Taeko Yasuhiro!
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Ifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculation.
I knew it.
I knew it. So you really did approach Ifumi with this plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty. Lying. My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to him to get him to agree.
So then...
Then, did you use... You know... I knew you'd figured it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice...
Indeed.
I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but... It was the one thing that Hifumi and Taka were both super into. She talking about alter ego?
Say what?
What? What? What are you talking about?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. Oh, sorry. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here.
I'm totally out of the loop, as usual. How sad.
In other words...
Then, you're the one that stole it?
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. That's right. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit.
What are you doing here?
Actually...
I was hoping I could talk to you, alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it.
What? Are you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it.
What?
So then...
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I'd found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you know what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the pictures as soon as I'd shown it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him. But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her.
You are correct.
which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
What?
As for me...
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh,
He did?
As for me...
He came to my room last night, unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me. Oh, wow.
What?
And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
That's a crime. An absolute crime. I mean, I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but...
Say what?
I never imagined he would go that far. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life. I'm going to kill him! I'm going to fucking kill him!
Most unfortunate.
Wait, please. If you go now, you will be playing right into his hands. Huh?
Actually...
Taka is planning to use her to escape. Oh, sorry. It's new accent. I keep forgetting she had an accent. And he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean... Taka is going to try to kill you.
What?
Indeed.
And all he can keep her... And also he can keep her to himself. That
This
bastard!
is completely unforgivable!
Bastard!
Honestly.
Can we allow him continue with these barbaric acts? Absolutely not! How could I? She...
I swear I will save her!
I have to save her!
Actually...
Then, would you like to join with me? It's just so happens I have come up with a plan. I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete. Huh? Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even a love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
Indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd actually make something like that. But it's not... But it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But...
So, why'd you decide to make me the suspect?
Because you're stupid.
Huh?
That's it!
Let's see...
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though.
I feel like I could cry.
Well.
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? Excuse me. What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you had actually let him live?
Are you okay with this?
That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead, once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. And he really believed that? Well, of course. That wasn't all there was to it. As I explained it to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it. It all seems very straightforward. Stereotypical. I
just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
So in the end...
So you planned to kill him all along. But of course. There would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about that.
No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then, what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape.
But
all along you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
You little bitch!
Obviously, that was a lie.
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
You little bitch!
I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And do you want to know why? Huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me...
And it was all for that dream. And what was this dream of yours?
Isn't it wonderful?
Excuse me. To live in a European castle. A castle. Wow. And together, handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers / bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life, there was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about! Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but...
There is nothing to be done.
Unfortunately, my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream to the very end, so why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it.
Oh.
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
Do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Like, I know those voice clips have her doing the accent, but she's already found out that the accent's fake, so I'm just going along with she dropped the accent, because I'm not wanting to deal with that. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying. And plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people. I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. That's pretty much what depression is. And that's why you're not scared?
Yes, indeed.
That's right. I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice, then...
Isn't it wonderful?
Sorry. I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey!
You just get executed again. Celeste smiled then. And when she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak, fake smile is what betrayed her.
Grills! Chills! Kills!
You all done? Okay then, let's get rolling. The black can disturb the peace. and must pay the price.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
For her, the ultimate gambler.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Here we go.
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this.
What?
This is...
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then, take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
Here we go. Say goodbye to Celeste. Oh wow, that looks like Hifumi actually. The burning of the Versailles witch. No! That's it? You're just gonna burn her alive? That's like the most mild one. Come on, there's gotta be more. It's a lot of Monokumas. Wow, yeah, it's just her burning alive. Okay. What? Sorry. That was actually pretty funny. It's like the whole fire was for nothing. She died just to get hit by a freaking fire truck. That's pretty funny. Well, yeah, that was the most mild one. It's over. The third execution. It's over. Celeste's death. It's over. Celeste killed my friends, so I can't pity her, but I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Jeez, and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do I care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. It's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us?
How strange.
God, I am so sick of people asking me that. Just give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key type object from Celeste?
Hey!
So, what's the deal with that?
What?
What? What's the matter?
So then...
I'll answer your question. And if you answer mine...
You...
What did you do? What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
What?
Hey.
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh, how exciting.
Oh, man. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Oh, jeez. What do you mean? What did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now?
Mastermind did something to Kyoko's body? What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kinda awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here.
Well?
Meanwhile, you guys can go on enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. No, not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
See ya later!
Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair, there was one small hope. Hey Kyoko, Monokuma mentioned it, but what's that key that Celeste gave you? Most likely, it's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Huh?
What? Then that means Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey!
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us and said,
Hey.
Going to go on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later.
What?
Why exactly are you going alone?
So...
Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance camera.
Come on.
That's not what I meant. That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still the risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please, let me go. Standing here arguing is just going to draw more attention to
Goodbye.
us. Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
Well then.
Then it's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay? Huh? So Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together? Look how freaking red her face is. That's hilarious. Does that mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone.
I tried to forget what Hina said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Well, shall we? Yeah.
So then...
We need to get into that locker. Kyoko took the key Celeste had given her and unlocked the locker. As soon as the locker swung open, we saw... Alter Ego! Good morning! It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe, thank goodness. I never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time.
So?
Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please wait just a while longer. So now we can officially say the case is closed. As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but can we take a second? Since we have this opportunity, I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school?
You...
Is that why you wanted to come here with me?
However...
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know? That just makes me even more worried.
What?
Worried? Like, what happened during the investigation this time? You disappeared, and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you do that,
Indeed.
it's only natural that they think I'm the mastermind spy, right? No! I believe in you.
What?
You believe in me. Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then...
That's fine.
Fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see, what I heard from Kyoko then was, well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believed in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she told me with my own two eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come. And when it did, I went into action.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. And in the storage closet there, way in the back. She said it was way in the back of the boys' bathroom storage closet, but could Kyoko really be right about this? Oh my gosh, how much longer is it till the next save? It's just an enormous storage closet as far as I can tell. The secret Kyoko told me about, could it really be hidden here? But I mean, seriously? Without thinking, I placed my hand on the back of the storage closet, and suddenly, as if I were being yanked in, ka-chunk! At the same time as I heard that sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. Bump! I had fallen through the back of the storage closet. It turned out, the back of the wall was like a revolving door, and I had made my way to the other side. Just like Kyoko said.
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom on the second floor, there's a storage closet, and in the way back of that closet, there's a secret room. So this is the secret room. But what's in here? Two things. There's a bunch of files, and what looks like volume after volume of yearbooks. They're all covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of this bookshelf caught my eye. Hope's Peak Academy Student Registry. This is the only thing in here not covered in dust. Has someone been looking at it recently? Oh gee, I wonder who. I slipped the file into my hand. But before I had a chance to take a look at it, a slip of paper fell out of the file and I turned my attention to it. Must not leave. What's this? That's kind of weird. I can understand if it said like, I can't leave, but you must not leave. What is this? My head feels funny. This strange sensation. It's like deja vu. Those words. You must not leave. I've seen them. Somewhere before. But I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? What? A strange sound rang out through my head. It felt like it was shaking my brain back and forth. And then, darkness. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what started it. It's all over. And with that, I opened my eyes. I didn't know how long it had been. Ow! Apparently something hit me, and I lost consciousness. That's all I understood. The dull, throbbing pain in my head proved that much at least. All the books are gone. It's just a normal desk with normal drawers. An empty bookshelf. Huh? Empty? Gone. It's all gone! The yearbooks, the student registry, and even the note that had fallen on the floor. It's all gone? What does this mean? But my brain refused to do any more work. The insistent pain in my head began to spread across the rest of my body. For now, I should go back to my room, get some rest. I looked like Monokuma's eye symbol on that guy's mask on the head. My body was heavy with pain and my mind heavy with thought. I dragged myself back towards my room. Somehow I made it back to the first floor of the school. The farther I walked, the more I felt. Things are getting blurry. I can't see in front of me. I couldn't stop myself from collapsing. Collapsing right there. And after that, as if from a vast distance, I heard a sound. It was a faint, but undeniable sound. It's coming from the gym? As I desperately hauled my shaky frame toward the gym, the sound got stronger and stronger. What's going on? It can't be nothing. Here, in the gym? Time unknown. didn't make a sound as I opened the door to the gym. The sounds coming from inside, meanwhile, only intensified that much more. Oh, shit! Okay. Before me raged a battle beyond anything humanly possible. No, one side's not human, that's for sure. Regardless, I couldn't stop staring. I forgot to move, or even breathe.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing?
What's the wrong button?
I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
The deal?
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay. But you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? Then could it be the mastermind spy is Sakura? Alright, finally. Only one more death. To be continued. Jeez, that had a long one to it. That had a long after thing. No, we're gonna pick this up after, like, next episode. Thanks for tuning in. This was definitely a longer one, even though it was just the investigation and the trial, but they pretty much said the same thing over and over again. But it's fine. We'll see you next time. Well, we'll see how far we get. Maybe we'll finish it. I don't know. I don't know how much longer is left. But yep. But for now, stay weird, my weirdos.